that's really thought-provoking. Now, I remember when we were talking about, hey, we need an integration solution because we were getting a lot of customers coming to us and they were saying, well, we're doing agile work, we're doing work here. We need to incorporate, the project portfolio management with a line of business system. And there's a lot of point solutions out there
Right.
to your point. Talk a little bit about Tasktop and what was special about that. Why did we navigate that way? Because I think that partnership is really something that we bring to the table. That's really a quality partnership that our customers can take advantage of.
For sure. So Tasktop is interesting because it is a framework, it is a model, it is a whole plethora of of connections to different tools out there, from ALM tools to project management tools to even some database tools, right? It kind of hits all different places in a way that actually is intuitive to users, because it's not, you will integrate X to Y
Right.
and build this pipe. You can build this pipe for now. Next week, and you've determined you have a different use case, you can add an ancillary pipe or change the pipe a little bit without redoing the integration altogether, without rewriting it if it were custom. I mean, obviously, if anybody goes down the path of a custom dev thing, you get exactly what you want because you're starting from a blank piece of paper.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, but that's expensive.
And
it's expensive to maintain.
Assuming that you have the skills or the money to get exactly what you want.
Yeah. On that pipe, though, one of the things that we've seen is when people have written their own custom integrations and those kinds of things, is, you mentioned it just really quickly, but I want to go back in on is the maintenance of it, right? So Tasktop does what, 51 connection points between their hub, I think.
And they add something new every quarter.
Right.
And the key that one of the key things they do is they are constantly battering against all of the REST APIs that all the tools and components they connect to on a nightly basis.
Right. So they're running integration tests with all of these tools on a nightly basis. So they're going to probably be even ahead of the customers in finding an issue. If somebody at ServiceNow or Jira or Microsoft or somebody makes a change that maybe breaks something or changes the behavior of it, they're going to be ahead of it and be able to say, hey, not only do we know it, but we already have a fix for it, which is so much. And guess what? You don't have to pay anything else for it. It's part of your subscription.
Oh.
APIs change. I mean, do they change nightly? No. But if they offered a new feature that you're now taking advantage of, you might have an API change. If they're deprecating a way of doing things, but they replaced it with something else, you have an API change. While that is not a earth-shattering revelation, it is still something to be aware of. And if you have companies out there that you're buying tools from that are actually keeping that up before you even see the problem, because you're likely behind on your update to your software. They're not. They're getting the beta versions. They're getting the stuff that is always up to date to ensure that their components are still working no matter what.
Okay.
And this is that whole new world. It's been around for a few years now, but it's the continuous integration cycles, right? And everybody's going through them. So when you buy a product like this, it's working with the continuous integration cycles of all the other pieces that are being integrated as well.
About it. And it's visual. So the model that you build, you can see, oh, I have data that goes from here to here, and I have data that goes from here to this other place. But I don't want data to come back from here over here. So I block all that, and you can kind of make your spider web of integrations across all your tools be what you need it to be. Now, you don't have to know about the APIs. The tool does it for you.
You also talked a little bit about when you're talking about creating that visual map, there's modeling that can be done with that as well, right? I mean, you can make some conditional statements and things like that are pretty easy to do without having to go to code to do it.
You can put expressions and you can even extend it. There are extensions for it where you can write in some JavaScript into it if you find that unique little case that you need to deal with.